Good morning, everybody. As and when we are seated at home because of this corona pandemic, I thought I will share a few thoughts offbeat in anatomy. If men are from Mars and women from Venus, does anatomy have an answer? And I want your attention to be focused on these two books. Anatomy means Gray's Anatomy, which is the Bible for all anatomists all over the world. On the other side, you see the other classical book sold in millions. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And basically, it deals with the psychological aspects, how men and women differ. But here in this guest lecture, I would like to bring upon few differences in anatomy and how they are different. In any of these anatomy classes, you would have had osteology classes where they would teach about the morphological aspect of the bones, the salient identification features, and then in some of the bones, they would teach about the differences between a male and a female, as for example, in the pelvis. If you take a male and a female pelvis, they are different. The female pelvis is more adapted for enabling childbirth. So it will be wider, whereas the male pelvis is a bit narrower. So like this, we have the different differences in the skull. When you see the differences between the male skull and the female skull, the bony prominences are little prominent in case of male, whereas it is not so pronounced in case of female. In case of the vertebra, the transverse diameter and height of the cervical vertebrae shows sexual dimorphism. Then calcaneum also, if you see, there are sexual dimorphism. And like this, if you go through the entire skeleton, there can be various differences. If you come to the differences between men and the women, the International Women's Day, now it is celebrated with much fanfare on March 8th, whereas many of you may not even know there is an International Men's Day that falls on 19th of November. Medicine is clueless as to how males and females really differ according to Bruce McEwen, and there are certain reasons why we should explore to see if inequalities prevail as such, to improve the performance, to improve our understanding. Data will be interpreted and misused according to the whims and fancies of the people in all these researches involving sexual dimorphism. Now, when we talk about men and the women, we should also talk about the third gender, the 3G sex. Some of you might have seen the world champion Caster Semenya, who won the 800 meters in the Berlin Olympics 2009. But her gender came under global scrutiny. So as far as the sex is concerned, there are three aspects. One is the genetic sex, the gonadal sex, and then the genital sex. In our own country, in Tamil Nadu, we have Shanti Soundararajan. 2006, she won the silver medal in Doha Asian Games, but she failed to clear the gender test, and she was diagnosed with hyperandrogenism. Then the ethological study, universal sex-specific behavior among human cultures, was done. 250 cultures were seen, and then male dominates in most of the cultures. The male are more reactive and less cautious. The female are more cautious and more concerned. Basically, female are primary caregivers. Differences, do they matter? Of course, differences, they are present at birth. They are amplified according to the individual hormonal and genetic dictates. Differences not only in anatomy, physiology, but also in behavior. When come to non-nervous system physiology, the myriad of physiological differences are there. Basal metabolic rate 6% more in males during adolescence and 10% in adult males. At the age of 18, the males have 50% more muscle mass, denser bones, stronger ligaments. The male have short bursts of strength. The males have more sweat glands, dissipate heat faster than female. Female at the age 18 have almost twice fat as the male body fat. Female have thick subcutaneous fat, which acts as an energy reserve. The female have more WBCs, more granulocytes, B and T lymphocytes. They have better immunity, catering to the multiple offsprings. Now I wonder, even if you go to the incidence rate of the coronavirus, women are less affected, I think. If you please go and explore the statistics. The men have larger teeth, larger salivary glands, more active gastric glands. The males have larger larynx, 30% greater lung capacity. The males have large heart, pump large volume of blood, 10% more RBC, higher oxygen carrying capacity, higher circulating clotting factors that favors wound healing. Basically, in the initial days, maybe the men were the hunters and gatherers. Come to the hormonal differences, both androgen and estrogen differ in different concentration. In male, 6th or 7th week, the gonadal testosterone, it is getting secreted, immediate effect on the developing organ system. 2 to 3 times more till puberty in males and 15 times at puberty. The female, twice estrogen till puberty, 8 to 10 times at puberty. Far beyond the superficial anatomical characteristics, they are necessary for the reproduction. Differences in the peripheral nervous system, 2-point discrimination, it is more accurate in case of women. They are more sensitive for touch. They monitor the environment, which favors for the child care. Baker in 1987 documented sex-related differences in perception and attention. The female are better in detecting pure tone audiometry, sexually distinct pattern in hearing loss. The male from age 32, they begin to have the loss of hearing. The female from the age of 37. If you come to the olfactory system, the olfactory threshold sensitivity is more for the female. Male make more errors with tastes. The dynamic visual acuity is better in case of male. I told you they are the hunters and gatherers. They were once. The color vision is better in female. They are able to appreciate the rashes in children if they have fever. The night vision is better in male, as initially they were into hunting. When you come to the limbic system, the hypothalamus, amygdala, and some other nuclei in midbrain, they're part of the limbic system. The thresholds to set off responses in the limbic system differs. The preoptic area in hypothalamus is larger in males. Amygdala, the center of aggression in hypothalamus. Testosterone stimulates the production of neurotransmitters in hypothalamus. You can see the references quoted there. The elevated estrogen, opposite effect, inhibits synaptic firing in the brain. The male is reactive and quick to act, whereas the female is patient and tolerant. So these are all with respect to the limbic system. Men and women, they are different but equal. Sexually dimorphic refers to two different structures that vary as a function of sex. Male and female, no identifiable difference in morphologically or microscopically except for the bar bodies. The male brain at birth, 9 to 10% heavier, 2% larger circumference, 8 to 10% throughout life. It is there, okay? So there are differences between the male and the female brain. Of course, I want to stress that the male and the female, they are different but equal. Differences in brain. Architecture of brain is established early in life. The corpus callosum is larger and more nerve fibers in females at all ages is seen. The template deformation morphometry shows larger splenium in case of females. So these are the differences as far as the corpus callosum is concerned between male and then the female. The gene and the environment. Let's see how it plays a role in the brain and then the behavior of the people. Series of dynamic interaction between genetic influences and the environmental conditions were done by Fox et al. In 2010. And the enriched or impoverished environment reared rats showed differences in cortical thickness, branching of the dendrites, and the number of glial cells. So obviously we come to understand that the gene and the environment definitely play a role in the brain. Even in these days of lockdown, so much of psychological deterioration is there, and this all affects the brain and then the psychology as well. Now we all know when women want to go somewhere, when they pack, they start a month earlier, make a ton of list packing for themselves and for the kids. They have to take the things, plan activities for the kids, take things for the kids' playtime activities, remember all items at random, worry about what you forgot. So she takes a lot of time to plan and organize for a family trip. Whereas for men, it just takes 5 minutes for them to pack. They just put whatever comes to their hand and pack it, and they are done. So this is how the men and the women they differ. The cognition and memory. When we look at the cognition and memory, the women are superior according to Allen. The areas concerned with cognition differs. Hippocampus, memory tasks sexually dimorphic, portions larger in women than in men after adjusting for the total brain size. The rapid growth during adolescent period, according to Lenroot et al. 2010. The hypothalamus, one portion is larger in male. Amygdala, a subcortical structure connected with emotional memory, better developed in case of female. Sex differences in puberty. There's a growth spurt in girls, 10.5 years, and 12 and a half years in case of boys. The girls taller than boys between ages 11 to 13. The full adult height is achieved 17 years in case of girls, whereas in male it is 21 years. Boys in puberty gain more weight and height than girls. They talk much about sex and the girls. High testosterone found in males may result in greater sexual aggressiveness and more purely physical drives and gratification. The teenage parental conflicts occur, which are normal and necessary. Out of house is more and more, but now you can't do that. Often the greatest experimental risk taking lifetime period. They have little concept of cause and effect. You don't know what will be the effect, but now you can see if you go to the road, the policeman will teach you the effect. You can be the cause, and the policeman action will be the effect. The girls in puberty and adolescence, they have vague and diffuse manifestations. They have crush on older men, interested in romantic love. They are a bit talkative but not communicative, giggly. Girls tend to view sexual gratification as secondary to fulfillment of other needs such as love, affection, self-esteem, and reassurance. Girls thus are less likely to abstain from sex in a relationship. Sexual dimorphism in brain. The adolescent male and the female brains are under immense hormonal and physical changes, and they have the capacity to hold in mind more multidimensional concepts. They deal with the continuous input of information, dramatic changes in cognitive flexibility. Their information processing system comprising of working memory and attention play a critical role in human cognition, according to Conway, Kane, and Ingle. Working memory and attention are modulated by the dopaminergic system, particularly through the striatal frontal pathway. The physiological effects of dopamine are mediated pre and post synaptically. There are different genes connected with the working memory and cognition. I should thank my PhD student, Dr. Archana, because this was a part of her thesis, this working memory and all this genetic aspect of the dimorphism. And the COMT and the DAT genes modulates the effects of PFC and striatum respectively. No single genetic variant acts in isolation. Interactive effects of the genes and the epigenetics may be conducted to explore and unravel the mystery of the brain. More genes related to dopamine receptors and enzymes should be studied. Men are neither from Mars nor women from Venus. All are from Earth, created in God's own image. And yes, anatomy definitely has an answer. An apple is an apple, whatever the color may be. Male and female are similar and different. Men are like Bluetooth, connected to you when you are nearby, but searches for other devices when you are away. Women are like Wi-Fi. She sees all available devices, but connects to the strongest one. Keep calm and accept the differences. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you.